Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dave Shore. I am very pleased to be joined by our partners at the NFL Alumni of Carolinas, Adrian, Murrell, and Mike Dulaney. And we partnered up last year for the first annual Topgolf Challenge presented by Shea Homes. And now we're getting ready for the second one, and that's coming up on January 25th of 2021. We'll still call it the 2020 because we had to kind of push it a little bit, but we're looking forward to it. Gentlemen, it's
Absolutely.
good to talk to you. I think you guys are looking forward to this event as well, aren't you?
Absolutely, Dave. Appreciate you having us on. We're continuing to enjoy this partnership that we're building together, and we're looking forward to the second annual Topgolf event with you guys.
Yeah, it's been great, Dave. I think the last one went fantastic. I think everybody had a great time honoring Dwight Clark, having the folks from Shea Homes there and a lot of our former players, our teammates, the guys we went to battle with. I think it's a great event. Not exactly sure how this relationship started, man, but I'm glad it did. And we'll see if we can keep pushing forward through these wild times.
Well, sometimes, guys, it comes from a conversation, and I know from all my years of covering the NFL and you guys playing football for your lives as well, it had just hit me that there'd be no better maybe connection because of some of the ALS ties, and sometimes partnerships can really benefit each other. Tell me why both of you guys feel like this is beneficial, these two organizations getting together and trying to create as much awareness as possible.
You want to take that, Mike?
Yeah, the older I've gotten and turning 50 this year, over the last 10 years or so, I've always had that tough conversation with guys, and it's pretty much surrounded around concussions, around dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, ALS, things of those neuromuscular type of ailments that kind of rear their ugly head with players. But also around, the African-American community and a lot of my teammates falling into that category of having issues with colorectal problems and having that tough conversation in regards to having a colonoscopy, just like my wife, and going out and having a breast exam. And I just think it's a great partnership health-wise, and making those conversations and really taking it to heart and having a heart-to-heart with the guy who maybe think he was a little invincible back in the day, but now, as we get a little older, it's time to really start paying attention to those things.
Yeah, and I second that too, Dave. I just turned 50 on Friday, so it's a lot of those conversations of the invincibility factor that you're starting to see and feel that, hey, there's some different things that I'm feeling in my body. This platform is definitely giving a lot of our guys that space to talk about these type of elements that they're experiencing. So our platform with the alumni has been a lot in the past about caring for kids. Now that this things that are coming up that are affecting guys, and where we've got this protocol through concussion, a lot of these elements that we're talking about now is very prevalent, and guys are talking about it. So we felt that it was important for us to be involved with it, make sure there's awareness, and more importantly, if a guy happens to fall through the cracks, or even our neighbors, that's why we're dealing with you guys, is because everyone that falls to this disease, I mean, it is a tough thing to go through. So let's try to fight and figure out a way to continue to build resources, and truly someday soon, hopefully, we can have some sort of resolve with this.
If you're watching this and you're learning something, one of the things that I'll share is why awareness is so important is for those that didn't know, but the Ice Bucket Challenge, which was so big about 6 years ago from the ALS Association, and something that we were involved in here at the chapter, that opened up so much research and trials that can now be done that doesn't just benefit the findings that will affect ALS, but the other neuromuscular diseases. Mike, you mentioned many of them as well. So, when people say awareness, we kind of throw the word around, but it's very, very important that we keep that top of mind. And that's why the couple of times a year that we do this together, we gather, because we got to spread the message.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I like the idea of just getting together with guys. You know, a lot of times you kind of go through life and things get away from you and you get busy. But bringing guys together and figuring out what's going on with their families, building relationships in the business world, a lot of great sponsors involved. So I think it's a win-win for everybody.
And to second that as well, you know, the community outreach and us partnering with you guys in the community, we see the similarities of, hey, I have a family member that may have that disease, and those stories that are being shared. We had Mike Rucker there last year, and his grandfather had the disease, and he knows the Shea family very well. So there was a lot of interaction between them and reconnecting of those folks. So that is really good. And then those, you know, just to continue to get the awareness out.
Guys, the NFL alumni, especially the Carolinas chapter, along with all the other chapters across the country, you guys try to be as visible as possible. I know you get together for just the good nature of each other, but what are some of the other things that you guys try to do as an organization?
Well, I mean, the one that just comes to mind is the trust, the NFLPA trust, and a lot of benefits and a lot of programs that the trust introduced several years ago. Each city has a trust captain. Omar Gaither, former player, Charlotte native, heads up that piece with the PA. But and then, you know, Adrian kind of heading up the NFL alumni chapter here in the Carolinas. I think having those organizations, having things surrounded around the Super Bowl, individual hometowns of NFL teams, and bringing some guys who maybe necessarily didn't play for the Carolina Panthers, but who played for other teams, but wanted to call Charlotte home. Getting those guys in, bringing them into the fold, and sharing some time, breaking some bread, getting involved in some events around town. I think that's been a huge locker room type of feel, and bringing some of the guys back together.
Yeah, like the trust is one organization that we can be involved in. The PA is another, as well as the alumni. Typically, we all have the same types of platforms where there's benefits from being in, just engage in them because we all get the benefits. But there's things like teledoc, guys can just call up and get some sort of diagnosis or something small, just being online with the doctor. We've got just varieties of programs from legal, from education. There's and then also getting involved and giving back is one of the things that we like to promote. So we're all in this together, and you know, the more that guys are basically involved and having some awareness of what we're doing in the community is really what the goals are for all those organizations.
Guys, we really appreciate it. We look forward to that event, and thanks so much for joining us here.
Hey, thanks, guys. We look forward to continuing dialogue, and let's get ready to go January 25th.
Yeah, appreciate it, Dave. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Dave.